Welcome, welcome everyone. This is Gentle Yoga Flow. So we'll be using a set of blocks today. So just 2 blocks and then a bolster or a pillow. Wasn't able to find my bolster this morning, so I'm just using a pillow as well. So it's perfectly fine if you don't have a bolster, just grab a pillow. Sturdier the better, but it's okay if it's not. Alright, we're actually going to start, we're going to place one block tall-wise at the end of your mat, another block either medium height or low height, making like a T shape here. And then we're going to place our bolster or our pillow on top of that. And then we are going to lean against it, like so, placing the soles of your feet together, butterflying your knees open. You can keep your palms down by your side. You can also bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Just letting your knees fall open. Focusing here on your breath. Deep inhale. Strong exhale. Breathing in and out. Breathing in through your nose. Exhaling through your mouth. Filling your lungs all the way to the top. Keep this breathing going. When you find a focus for class today, find a word and an intention for your flow today. So that when your mind wanders, you can come back to that word. Now continue this breathing, seal your lips, breathing in and out through your nose. Just relaxing your body completely against the floor, against the blocks. Getting heavier with each breath. One more deep inhale and exhale. Once you get all of the air out, you're welcome to keep your feet butterflied. You can also extend your legs long, let your heels touch. Toes fall open. Drawing your hands down by your side. We're just going to make snow angel arms. Drawing your arms up and then back down. You can keep a bend in your arms. Warming up that upper body. Maybe some of you are experiencing lots of snow. Pretending you're outside, building snow angels. Just gentle, arms raised, palms stay facing up, and arms lower. Your head is still resting flat on the bolster, propped up by those blocks. Soles of your feet to touch, butterfly open, or legs extended long, heels to touch, toes to fall open. Continuing with that breath. All right, on your next one, go ahead and bring your hands down by your side. Gently cross your ankles and push yourself up to a seated position. Facing your bolster, go ahead and lift it up, and we're going to place the blocks long way, so like a lowercase L on the lowest setting, and then place your bolster on top of them. So it's just a little propped up bolster. And we're going to find a child's pose. So coming over your bolster in a tabletop position, letting your toes to touch, letting your knees fall open, pressing your hips back, and then bringing your chest towards the bolster, and then letting your left ear fall in the bolster. You may need to scoot your bolster and your blocks closer towards you or push them further away. Just your left ear gently on the bolster, just resting, still finding that breath. Deep inhale Strong exhale in and out through your nose. Left ear resting on the bolster. And find one more breath like this. And then rotate your right ear on the bolster, just resting, holding that child's pose, placing your right ear on the bolster, lifted up by those blocks. You can keep your elbows bent. You can also extend them long. Toes to touch, knees to fall open. Continuing with that breath. Nice snowy day flow for this morning. One more inhale and exhale. Go ahead and walk yourself slowly up, walking your hands towards your knees. We're going to come and lay onto our left side. You still have that bolster propped up with the blocks. We're going to come into a fetal position. So you're going to hug the bolster. Your knees can be stacked. You can also stagger them, and then just placing your left ear on the bolster, just resting. Again, you can have the bolster extended further up towards your rib cage. You can have it closer down towards your hips. Whatever is comfortable for you today. And just resting that left ear on the bolster. One more breath here. If you'd like, you're welcome to keep your left ear on the bolster. You can also rotate, bringing your right ear on the bolster, feeling that spinal stretch. And wherever you're at, hold it for one more breath. And then place your palms on either side of your bolster, walking yourself up and just switching sides, this time bringing your right hip onto the floor. Now folding over your right ear onto the bolster, just bringing your hands down by your side, coming to that fetal position. Again, you can stack your knees. You can also stagger them. Just resting and breathing. You can have that bolster with blocks closer down towards your hips or further up towards your rib cage. Still focusing on those deep inhales and exhales through your nose. One more breath here. And you're welcome to turn and face your left ear on the bolster. You can also keep your right ear on the bolster as well. Feeling that twist without forcing it. Elbows can be bent. You can also extend your arms out long, stretching your shoulders. And wherever you're at, hold it here for one more breath. And on your next exhale, gently plant your palms next to your bolster. Walk yourself up. Go ahead and set your bolster off to the side. We'll use it again later on. And set one block off to the side. We're going to come to a kneeling stance with one or two bolsters. So I guess you can keep two if you'd like. And we're going to place these blocks between your heels, so staying on the bolster, so you can have it at a low setting. You can stack two on top of each other, depending on what is comfortable for you today, and sitting back on 1 or 2 blocks. From here, go ahead and bring your hands to your knees, rounding your spine, coming into cat in a kneeling position. And then arch your spine as you draw your hands to your hips, gaze up towards the ceiling. Really spread your collarbone nice and wide. Extend your hands towards your knees, round your spine. And inhale as you draw your hands towards your thighs, coming into kneeling cow. Hands back towards your knees. Exhale into kneeling cat. One time through, hands to your thighs, rounding your spine. And then releasing down. Go ahead and draw your hands down by your side. Go ahead and bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. You can gently pull your head down with your right hand. Coming back through center, releasing your right hand. And then release your left ear towards your left shoulder. Maybe gently pulling with your left hand. Come back through center. Let's do that one more time. Right ear to right shoulder, with or without that gentle pull. Keeping that left shoulder down. Come back up. Left ear, left shoulder. Actively work to pull that right shoulder down. Come back to center. Go ahead and draw your right ear towards your right shoulder, chin to chest. Circle rolls, left ear to left shoulder. Down through center. One more time through right ear to right shoulder. Circle it down towards the center. And back through center. Over to the right side. Come back through center, draw your arms high up overhead. Maybe circle out your wrist. All of your weight is sitting back on those blocks. Go ahead and bring your palms face now. Extend your arms nice and wide. Arms are straight overhead. We're going to cactus the arms. Draw the elbows down. Chin and chest is lifted. Really press that earth away. Draw your arms up high towards the ceiling. Gaze comes forward. Elbows come down. Gaze lifts up towards the ceiling. 2 more times through. Gaze comes forward. Palms are up. Draw the elbows down. Lift your gaze up towards the ceiling. Really spread your fingertips wide. Try to draw your elbows to touch. Arms come back up. Go ahead and draw your elbows down. Lift your gaze. Hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Bring your gaze back to center. Arms come up high overhead. Release your right hand down to the floor. You can also bring it to a block. Left arm comes up overhead. Left bicep to left ear. And then left arm comes down towards the floor or a block. Right arm comes up high overhead. Right bicep to right ear. Enjoying that stretch all on the right side body. Release that right hand down to the floor or a block. Left arm comes up high overhead. We're going to draw that elbow down, cactus the arm. Extend that hand. Release your left arm down to the floor or a block. Right arm comes up high overhead. Bend the elbow. Extend the fingertips nice and wide. Right arm extends. Right arm comes down to the floor or a block. Left arm back up overhead. Bend the elbow, cactus the arm. Extend. This time we're going to rotate facing towards our right hand. Maybe bringing your left pinky towards your right thumb. They do not have to touch. Keep that extension and then draw that left arm all the way across the body. Your right hand stays on the floor. Once you get to the left side, release your right hand. Set your left hand on the floor. Right arm comes up high overhead. Bend the elbow, cactus the arm. And extend. Rotate your body to face towards your left hand. Try to bring your right pinky towards your left thumb. Keep that extension in your right hand and then draw an arch with your right hand all the way around the front side of your body. Right hand comes down, lifting your left hand out. One more time on this side. Bend the elbow, practice the arm. Extend, face your right hand, left pinky to right thumb. Draw that arch out in front. Left hand down, right arm comes up high overhead. Bend the elbow, really extend those fingertips nice and long. Extend the arm, right pinky towards left thumb. Draw that arch out in front. From here, go ahead and draw your arms up high overhead. And then we're going to release your right hand to your left knee. Your left hand comes behind you, maybe towards your heel, maybe just hanging out in space, and gazing, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist a little bit more. Arms come up high overhead. Left hand to outside of your right knee. Right hand comes back behind you. Gazing, looking over your right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Arms come back up overhead. Right hand to the outside of your left knee. Left hand comes behind you. Twist and look over your left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Arms rise up. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind you, looking over your right shoulder. Inhale and twist. Once more on each side, arms come up. Twisting deeper this time, right hand to the outside of your left knee, left hand behind you, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, really lengthen your spine. Twist deeper as you exhale. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, twist left hand to your right knee, right hand comes behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Imagine someone's pulling the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, twist. Once you get every bit of air out, go to rise back up. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, we're going to place our hands down and we're going to walk ourselves out to a tabletop. So you can set that block off to the side. Finding your tabletop with your wrists directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. From here, we're going to turn the wrist outwards and then move from side to side very gently, tiny movements, warming up those wrists. Go ahead and come back to center. And then turn your wrists towards your knees. They don't have to be completely 180 degrees towards your knees. They could be at a 45-degree angle. And then you're welcome to hold it here. You can also gently rock forwards and backwards. So gently warming up the forearms. Coming back through center, go ahead and bring your fingertips facing away from your knees. Flipping your right palm over so your right palm is up towards the ceiling, left palm down towards the floor. And then just moving forwards and backwards. Go ahead and come back through center. Flip your right hand over. Flip your left palm up towards the sky. And then moving in the same fashion, forwards and backwards, maybe side to side, very gently. Go ahead and come back to the center, flip your left palm back over. From here, just bumping your hips side to side, any organic movement that feels good to you today. You can also bring your hands, your palm print forward, and do some barrel rolls, drawing your hips towards your wrist, down to the right, back to your heels, over to the left. And of course, what you do in one direction, You should repeat in the opposite. So drawing your hips over to the left if you're doing those barrel rolls, hips to heels over to the right. Think slower, more controlled. Go ahead and come back, finding your tabletop position, bringing your wrists directly on your shoulders if you had brought them forward. We're going to tuck our toes. Go ahead and lift your gaze, hammock your belly down to the ceiling. Inhale for cow. Untuck your toes, scoop and arch, rounding your spine, bringing your gaze towards your navel. Inhale, tuck your toes, lift your gaze up towards the ceiling. Hammock your belly, scoop and arch, really round your spine outward. Gaze towards your navel or the tops of your thighs. Let's do that one more time through on each side. Tuck your toes, coming into cat. Scoop and arch, round your spine. And release down. From here, we're going to lift our right arm up high towards the ceiling for thread the needle. Draw your right arm under and through the left side body, hovering. Lift it back up. Right arm up towards the ceiling, under and through. One more time through. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling, under and through the left side body, hovering and holding for 3, 2, and 1. Extend that right arm and then release it down. You can bring your right ear to the floor or to a block, maybe to the bolster. You can extend your left arm long. You can also come into a half bind, bringing that left hand behind your back. You can also extend that left leg straight back. You have that left leg extended, go ahead and keep it there. Plant your left hand back in. Sweep your left arm up and back down. We're going to swing that left leg around to your hip. So you're coming into a single leg stretch. That left leg is extended, your right knee is down. You're still in that tabletop position. Your hands are planted on the floor. We're just going to press our hips back and then forward. Pressing your hips back and then forward. You can keep your right toes tucked or untuck their toes. Really anchoring the inside of your left foot to the floor. Go ahead and hold your body forward. We're going to walk our hands back to your knees, coming upright, stacking your shoulders directly over your hips. Swing your arms up high overhead. We're going to draw our left hand down your left leg. Right arm comes up high overhead. Side body stretch. Come back through the middle. Release your right hand down to the floor or to a block. Lift your left leg. Release your left leg. Coming up, arms come up high overhead. Left hand down your left leg. Right arm comes up high overhead. Really arching over, feeling that stretch all along the right side body, anchoring the inside of your left foot to the floor. Coming back down, releasing your right hand to the floor or block. Left arm up, left leg lifts and lowers once more. Coming upright, left arm down, right arm up overhead. Go ahead and bring the right hand down, left arm up. Release that foot down. Go ahead and bring your arms up back overhead, shoulders stacked over your hips. Swan dive forward. Coming back out to that tabletop position. From here, we're going to lift that left leg. Try to keep it straight. Put that space here. And we're going to draw that left leg up and over to the outside of your right knee, looking over your right shoulder for a stretch. The ball of your left foot is pressed into the floor. Your heel is lifted. So from here, bend your left knee and release that left knee to the outside of your right knee. So your knees are crossed. And then maybe walk yourself to the center of your mat. Lower your hips so your knees are crossed. If you'd like a deeper sensation, extend your feet wider and sit back. You can also always hold it upright, opening up the hips here. If you'd like to lessen that sensation, draw your toes towards one another and sit back. Noticing the difference. Coming upright, come back, finding your tabletop position. From here, extend your left leg, extend your right arm. We're going to crunch them in together for 4 and extend. That's 3 and extend. 2, 1. Go ahead and release that right hand, that left knee down. Maybe bump your hips side to side. Let's repeat that with the left side now. Lift your left arm up high towards the ceiling. Scoop it under and through the right side body, hovering that left arm up towards the left side, under and through the right side body. Once more. Left arm lifts high. Draw it under the right side body, hovering and holding close to that floor. And then extend that left arm a little bit further and release it down to the floor. Release your left ear or cheek to the floor, maybe to a bolster or a block. Hips stay lifted. You can extend that right arm long. You can also come into a half bind, bringing your right hand to the outside of your left hip. You can also extend your right leg. It can be floating in air. You can also release it down to the floor, feeling that extension in your hip. Holding here and breathing. You have your legs in it, go ahead and keep it extended. Draw your right hand under your right shoulder. Lift your left arm up, opening up your chest and shoulders. Release your left hand down. Now we're going to draw that right leg, trying to keep it straight, over to the right hip. I'm going to turn around, face you guys. So you're in that single leg stretch. Once again, you're anchoring down through the inside of your right foot. Your left knee stays down. Your hands are forward, so you're still in that tabletop position with your hands under your shoulders. And then pressing your hips back, sinking your hips to your heels, coming back upright, pressing the hips back. Feeling that stretch along the inside of your right leg. 2 more. Press back. Left toes can be tucked or relaxed down. From here, hold it forward and walk your hands towards your left knee. Draw your arms up high overhead. From here, release your right hand down your right leg. Left arm comes up high overhead. Feeling that stretch all along the left side body. And then releasing your left hand down to the floor. You can also grab a block, lifting your right leg, left arm. Release your right leg. Draw your arms up high overhead. Right hand down the right side of your leg. Really anchoring through that right foot. Come back through, arms up overhead. Left arm down. Right arm up. Right leg lifts. Come back to center. 2 more times through, right arm down. Both arms come up. Left arm comes down. Lifting that right leg. You can also keep that right leg anchored to the floor if that's more comfortable for you. One more time. Anchor that right foot, arms up, right hand down. Really stretching further. Left bicep to left ear. Squeeze that right glute. Arms come up high overhead. Left hand down. Lift that leg. Go ahead and lower that right leg. Come back up to standing, shoulders stacked over your hips. Fold forward, swan dive forward, hands directly under your shoulders. So we're going to take that right leg, try to keep it straight. You can always bend it, of course, if you'd like. And we're going to lift it up and over. And draw the sole of your right foot to the outside of your left knee. Feel like a deeper stretch. Gaze look over your left shoulder towards your right ankle. From here, you might want to scoot closer towards the center of your mat. We're going to bend that right knee to the outside of your left knee. And then we're going to press our hips back so your knees are crossed. Again, to deepen the sensation, draw your feet further apart towards the outer sides of the mat. To lessen that sensation, draw the soles of your feet closer together. Got this pillow here in my way. And we're just hinging forwards and backwards. Stretch. Maybe one side's different than the other. One more wherever you're at, whether you're holding, hold it for a breath. If you're pressing forwards and backwards, need one more big press. And then coming forward, go ahead and come to tabletop, releasing your bind. We're going to extend that left arm, right leg, flexing your right toes, drive your knee to your elbow, elbow to your knee for 4, and extend. That's 3. Think slow, more controlled. 2 more. 1 more. Go ahead and release everything down. Right knee, left hand. Set all of your props off to the side. We're going to come down and lay onto our belly, laying all the way down. Go ahead and extend your arms out long in front. Hands are shoulder width apart, feet are hip width apart and parallel. We're going to lift and lower and release. Squeeze your glutes and lower. 2 more. And 1 more. Release back down. Walk your hands under your shoulders. Give me 2 mini cobras, pressing up tops of your feet, stay pressing to the floor. Release down. Mini cobra, press up. Release down. From here, extend your right arm long. Keep your left hand directly under your shoulder. Extend your right arm long. We're going to lift our left leg, draw it up and over, and tap the outside of your right hip. Opening up your right shoulder. Opening up your left hip. You can hold it here. You can also extend and bend into that left leg. All right, wherever you're at, bend that left leg. Roll back onto your stomach. Place your hands on your shoulders. Give me 1 mini cobra. Release down. This time, keep your right hand under your right shoulder. Extend your left arm long. Lift your right leg high. Draw it up and over the outside of your left hip. Opening up your left shoulder. Opening up your right hip. Just relaxing your head down on the floor. You can also place your ear on a bolster. You can keep that knee bent or you can extend And bend that knee. Go ahead and release that foot down, roll back onto your stomach. Go ahead and place your hands on your shoulders, one mini cobra. Release down, walk your hands towards your rib cage, give me a full cobra, all the way up, chest lifted, gazing up towards the ceiling. Look over your left shoulder, back up towards the ceiling in the center, over your right shoulder, back up towards the ceiling. Bring your gaze to the center, tuck your toes, come through tabletop or directly to downward facing dog. You can also always just hold it into tabletop. From here, pedal your heels, lifting and lowering one at a time. Biceps frame your ears. Keep your gaze down towards the tops of your thighs. Lift both of your heels, lower them over to the left side. Feeling that sensation all down the left side of your body. Lift your heels, lower them over to the right side. Feeling that sensation all on the right side body. Lift your heels, pedal them once more. If you're in downward dog, lift your right leg high, bend your knee, stack your hip. If you're in tabletop, just extend your right leg, open up your hip, bend your knee, and then extend. So whether you're in down dog, your right toes are flexed, or tabletop, we're going to step that right foot in between your palms, releasing your left knee to the floor, untuck your left toes. You can also always place a block underneath your left knee if you'd like to bring the earth a little bit closer up towards you. From here, with those left toes untucked, we're just going to hinge back, feeling that stretch all along the back side of your right leg. Hinge forward, pressing into that right knee, opening up your left hip. Drop back and forward. Drop back. All right, next one, we're going to hold it forward. Draw your arms up high towards the ceiling. From here, release your right arm down to the inside of your left thigh. You can also grab onto a block. Left arm comes up high overhead. You can also extend further back, coming into a back bend, or just hold it forward. From here, cartwheel down towards your toes. Keep your left hand to the inside of your right foot. You can also place that block under your left hand. Draw your right arm up high towards the ceiling. Circle out your right wrist. Your gaze can be up towards your right hand, down to the center, or down to your left wrist. Circling out your shoulder forwards and backwards. From here, draw your right hand down, tap the inside of your left wrist, and open. Tap down, and lift. Tap down, and lift. Go ahead and plant your right hand to the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot to the outside of your mat. Your toes turn to about 2 o'clock. We're going to come into lizard position, so you can use your blocks or your bolsters. Place your hands to the floor of the blocks. We're just going to hinge forward and backwards. Same thing, but your foot is outward instead of in line with your hip. Your toes are turned outward. Hold your body forward. You can bring your forearms onto those blocks and lower your body down. You can also bring your body all the way down, bringing your forearms to the floor. That knee is bending outward. You're opening up that right hip. Keeping your gaze between your palms. Walk your hands back up. From here, go ahead and release your right knee down. Tuck your toes, lift your hips back up, coming in downward facing dog, pedal your heels. Lift your left leg high, whether you are in downward dog or in tabletop. You can just lift your leg, you can bend your knee, open up your hip. Stacking your hips, tabletop or down dog. Come back, square out your hips, flex your left toes, step your left knee in between your palms, release your right knee down to the floor, untuck your right toes, coming up. You can also place that block under your right knee, bringing that earth closer up towards you, or you can deepen that stretch by extending your right leg further back. Just hinge forward and drop back. We're going to hold the hinge forward. Bring your right hand to the inside of your left foot, or you can bring that right hand to a block. Lift your left arm high to the ceiling. Low lunge with a twist. Circle out your left wrist. Circle out your shoulder forwards and backwards. Tap down, left hand to right wrist, and lift. Tap down and lift. Once more. Release your left hand down to the inside of your left foot. Walk your left toe outside towards the outside of your mat. Your right knee stays still. Your toes are turned to about 10 o'clock. Hands on the floor or a block. And then same thing, hinge forward and backwards. On your next one, hold the hinge forward. You're welcome to bring your forearms down to a block at any height. You can also bring your forearms down to the floor, opening up that left hip flexor just a little bit more. Walk your hands back, bring your left foot down to your left knee, come back to a tabletop, bump your hips side to side. Alright, from here, bring your left or right hip to the floor with your blocks and your bolster. You can bring a block. We're going to extend the right leg to also have your left foot inside. You can place a block under your right knee. You can also just bend that knee. You can keep it straight. You're going to place the bolster on top of your leg. So again, knee can be bent with a block supporting underneath it or your leg straight. And we're just going to hinge forward over that bolster, bringing your forehead towards the bolster. One more deep inhale and exhale. Every bit of breath is released. Go ahead and rise up and just switching sides. Extend your left leg. Draw the sole of your right foot inside your left leg. You can bend that left knee, that's more comfortable. You can place that block under your knee for more support. You can also hold that left leg straight. You want to place that bolster on top of your left leg and then hinge forward. Once again, bringing your forehead towards your knee on top of that bolster. And then come on up slowly. Put the bolster off to the side. Extend your legs long to a wide straddle. You can place, again, a block under each knee for support, or you can have your legs straight. We're going to place that bolster long ways out in front, and we're going to fold forward over that bolster. So your knees can be bent. You can have as much of a bend in your knees as you would like. Forward fold with or without those blocks under your knees. Balancing everything, coming up, bringing those blocks off to the side. We're going to come into a butterfly position, soles of your feet to touch. Now again, you can bring those blocks under your knees for more support. You can also just let your knees butterfly open. We're going to take that bolster and prop it up long ways in front. This is when a firm pillow would come in handy. And then we're going to fold it forward. We're just going to hug that bolster, bring your chin or your forehead to the bolster or the pillow, depending on the firmness. You can also always place some blocks under that bolster if you want to give it a little bit more height. And just folding forward. Come on up, set your bolster off to the side, set your blocks off to the side, keep one close by, come to your left or right hip, roll onto your back, bend your knees, grab one block, bring it low-wise, lift your hips and bring that block underneath your hips, lift your legs up towards the ceiling, point and flex, circle out your toes, lift your hands, point, flex, circle out. Legs up the wall. Go ahead and release your hands down, bend your knees, bringing your feet flat on the floor, keeping your knees bent, lift your hips, set that block off to the side. Draw your knees in towards your chest, roll side to side. Extend your legs to 90 degrees, continuing to hold the back side of your thighs. You can also grab the outside of your ankles for happy baby and just rolling side to side. Lower back stretch. Coming through center, you can come into ninja baby, extending one leg, drawing the sole of the foot to the other, and then of course switching. Keeping everything symmetrical. You can extend both legs. Wide leg happy baby straddle. You can draw the soles of your feet together, keeping your knees butterflied open. Then draw your knees back in. Send your legs up towards the ceiling, hands down by your side. Gently lower your legs down towards the floor. You can use any equipments that you like. You can place the bolster underneath your knees. You can place a block between your shoulder blades, maybe a block under your hips, and just holding here and breathing. Palms up, relaxing into your mat. Scrunch your shoulders, scrunch your fists, squeeze your glutes, scrunch your toes, and then release everything. Everything relaxed, melting into your mat. Coming back to your breath, remembering your focus, the intention that you set in the beginning of class. Then extend your arms overhead, roll to your left or right side, draw your knees in towards your chest. Lay out on your lower arm as if your arm is a pillow. Coming into fetal position. And gently press yourself up with your hands. Coming to a seated position of your choice. You can cross your ankles. You can bring the soles of your feet together. You can draw one foot over the other. Bring your hands to the tops of your knees, maybe closing your eyes. I thank you all so much for joining me today in this practice. Hopefully if you're somewhere where it's snowing, you're able to enjoy the snow today. Bring your hands to your heart. Namaste. Thank you all so very much. Happy Friday.